Now, some YouTubers only talk about Bitcoin, right?
Sound the alarm, Moon Boys. Sound the alarm, because the Bitcoin price has just dropped below key critical support.
Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Bitcoin's the godfather of crypto anyway.
I hope that we could come here and reason together.
And then others just talk about altcoins and the next project that's going straight to the moon.
So you want to know the next 100x coin. You want to know what you should be investing into, and you guys want to know it now.
And to be honest with you, I have zero problem with either style. What's that old phrase? There's more than one way to skin a cat. Odd phrase, but anyway, I think in crypto it's important to have a general knowledge or to look at everything you possibly can, just to give yourself more ammo to make sound decisions with your money. So in the next two videos, we're going to focus on a couple of charts that I look at every day before I begin to scan the market for potential altcoins to trade. Stick around till the end for a bonus chart that I look at every day that not a lot of people talk about, that really does help when deciding to buy or sell your altcoins. If you're liking the content, remember to like and subscribe, and let's get started. Now, chart numero uno is a little one of more of the obvious ones, I guess you could say. Bitcoin dominance. A lot of people do talk about Bitcoin dominance, and I usually bring it up every couple of days or almost every day on my channel as well. But it is one of the most important charts to look at every day, just to get a gauge for kind of where the money's flowing. And I have a whole in-depth video that I will put in the description, a link to, that you can watch that goes over it. The entirety of Bitcoin dominance. But the reason why it's on my list is something that I look at every day is that this is zoomed out right now, obviously, but anytime that Bitcoin dominance is going down, that's good for altcoins. Anytime it's going up, that's generally bad for altcoins, right? So if you're more of a macro investor or maybe a mid to long-term investor, you could use this chart zoomed out like I have right now. Now this is the weekly, so this is giving us data going clear back to like 2016-ish. But we can see at the end of the 2017-2018 bull run, Bitcoin dominance plunged down, found this support level, bounced up, got rejected. This key support's where it bounced, and this kind of signaled the end of that bull run. It never went down as low as this again. It just slowly trended up basically after that. And then this last year, January, when altcoins started to explode, it kind of found this same resistance up here, got rejected, and began to plunge again, just like it did back here in 2017. We got an altcoin season, but then lo and behold, this same key level of support it bounced at. It's bounced again, it's bounced again. Now, the key to this chart, you need to use it in Confluence with other things, just like everything else in trading, but it just kind of gives you an idea of when to be cautious, basically. So we're looking at this, and if this was to be flipped around, so if I were to hit Alt-I, which flips your chart upside down or inverts it, well, looking at it this direction, this actually is a bullish pattern, right? This is actually kind of like it's an ascending triangle. You could kind of straighten this out. And so this is an ascending triangle, which just means it keeps getting rejected at the same level, right? But down here, it's putting in higher lows. The reason why I say that's bullish, especially if you invert it, is that if this can bounce, if it tests this area one more time and happens to break through it at some point, now we flip it back around, that means that Bitcoin dominance would be losing this support level, and we might be able to at least go down and test this level clear back in 2018, but it would be kind of like a mini altcoin season, right? But the bigger key is we're just using it to time when we buy and sell altcoins. So right now we're kind of testing or heading up to test this upper trend line I've drawn. Now it's not a super valid trend line, it only has this 1 and 2 touches. But at any rate, I'm sure it's going to act as some sort of resistance. And if it does, then we could use that to time, buying some altcoins and riding the potential retest back down to this area down here, right? On the flip side of that, if this was to break up and out and retest it this way and start trending higher, heading up more towards some of these levels of resistance, in that case, we'd want to not be in altcoin positions because this is going to bleed altcoins as Bitcoin dominance trends higher. In chart number 2, we've got the USDT dominance or the Tether Dominance chart. Now, just like Bitcoin dominance, this is a chart where generally when its dominance is going up, that is bad for the crypto market, and when it's going down, that is good. Now, the reason being is USDT is the most common stablecoin across exchanges that's used to buy crypto, and because it's the most common, anytime that its dominance is going up, what that generally means is that people are moving their they're selling their cryptos and moving their money back into the USDT, which is basically a stable coin meant to mirror the US dollar. And so it just means they don't have as much confidence in holding the coins as they do holding a dollar bill. And the whole idea behind crypto and Bitcoin in general, or why people believe in it, is that it has a better, over time should have a better return value than the dollar, right? Because the dollar is constantly losing its value. Well, we look at this chart to kind of give us an idea of how people are feeling about holding their crypto, right? So if this is trending up, what it means for the most part is that people are putting their money back into stablecoins, and when it's trending down, it means people are selling off their USDT to buy crypto. Now, before going on, I just want to clarify, it doesn't mean 100% when this goes up that crypto is going to dump, or when it goes down, crypto is going to pump, because there is another scenario where people may just be moving their USDT back into actual US dollars or euros, or, whatever their actual currency is that they use. And so if they were doing that, USDT dominance could theoretically go down and crypto wouldn't be going up, because people wouldn't be buying crypto, they would just be selling their USDT, or transferring it back into their local currency. But generally speaking, that is what most often occurs. So we use this chart like Bitcoin dominance to kind of get an idea of whether it's a good time to buy or sell altcoins. Now right now, this is the 4-hour chart for USDT, and it's been going through a series of falling wedges, which while that was going down, that was good for altcoins, right? Broke out here, then it was kind of in a rising channel, boom, 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 that was bad for altcoins. Then it broke down out of it here, right? Retested it bearishly. So it's just kind of been repeating patterns. Right now it's in a somewhat of a rising channel again, but this big red zone I've marked is what is major resistance if you zoom out. Obviously it's tested it once up here, got rejected, and that was good for altcoins. I put in a slightly lower high, but for the most part it was a double top, and then that was good for altcoins again. And right now we're testing the bottom of that resistance, so we're kind of at a crossroads. If this breaks up again, that's going to be bad for altcoins temporarily unless it gets rejected at the top. If it were to break out, retest, and push higher, obviously that's going to be really bad for the market. But at the same time, we're at resistance, and so if this could break down and then bearishly retest, then any move as it trends this way will be good time to buy altcoins. And the third and final chart I wanted to quickly go over is the Ethereum or ETH versus BTC chart. What this chart represents, or anytime you pull up a chart with its BTC pairing rather than its like USDT pairing, is you're just comparing that crypto directly against Bitcoin. So anytime that it's printing a green candle or going up, it just means that during that time frame, which we're on a daily chart right now, it means that during this one green candle here, for example, that Ethereum outperformed Bitcoin. That's the only way it could print green. They could both be going up, but if Bitcoin goes up at a bigger percentage than Ethereum goes up, then it's going to print a red candle. Same thing, they could both be going down, but as long as Ethereum goes down slower than Bitcoin, or at least a less percentage, then it's going to print a green candle. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, with that being said, it's generally believed, or history has proven, that anytime Ethereum, for the most part, has been trending higher against Bitcoin, that's been good for altcoins. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's outperforming, all of the altcoins or anything. It just means that it's outperforming Bitcoin, which generally means, since it's the largest altcoin, it's the second biggest crypto and the largest altcoin, being any coin not Bitcoin, that if it's going up, that's generally good for altcoins, right? So a chart like this, for example, we look at it, we can see, okay, back here in late May, which is about the time Bitcoin took a second dump anyway at the time, that this topped out here against this red resistance and started trending lower. Well, during this time, altcoins bled pretty bad. Well, another time frame, fast forward to like here in late October, this was good for altcoins when this was trending higher against Bitcoin. Again, this just means it was outperforming Bitcoin. Then it hit the same resistance as the top. If I zoom out more, this is more of a zone of resistance. Here it topped out at the bottom of the zone. Here it topped out at the top. Well, right now it's kind of been in somewhat of a falling channel or a falling wedge. And we're at or near potential. Now this has 1, I guess, 2, 3, 4. So it's a pretty valid trend line. So we're at or near that trend line of support. And what we'd be looking for some bullish, midterm, short to midterm, hopium, I guess you could say, is if this can break out, just like any altcoin pattern that you're trading in a falling wedge, if it could break out, come back and retest and start to trend higher Ethereum versus Bitcoin, that is, there's a good chance that that's going to be the leading indicator for altcoins to have some positive movement upwards. As always, on the flip side of that, this support that's held up, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, if this breaks lower and bearish retests and starts to trend this way, that could spell some mid to, small, what am I trying to say, short to midterm to even longer term doom for altcoins. And then our bonus chart, which I'm going to actually cover more in depth in tomorrow's video, would be found on coinglass.com. There's actually a lot of things on this website that we will cover in future videos, but for today and tomorrow's, we're going to cover the funding rates. Now, funding rates, this page, coinglass.com/funding rate, what it does is it brings up a list of all of the major exchanges, and you can look up almost any coin, but the ones you want to focus on, or at least I focus on, is Bitcoin and Ethereum, mainly Bitcoin. And what you're looking for is, generally speaking, if you can look across these numbers and percentages and you see a lot of green, it just means funding rates are positive, which is a good thing. If funding rates are positive, there's a more likelihood that Bitcoin's going to at least stabilize or potentially go up. Again, we'll dive more into depth for reasons why this is in tomorrow's video. But for today's bonus, I just wanted to quickly point out that this is a good chart to get a feel for whether there's more potential for a pump or at least upward movement or downward movement. If you see a lot more red than you do green, and especially if you see almost entirely red, that's almost always not good for the crypto market. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense for right now, and we'll dive deeper in it tomorrow. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video. That is all for today on TA with MK. My name is McKay, and you guys have a beautiful day. It's TA.